They laughed. They mocked her accent, her plain uniform, and the way she quietly followed orders. One senior officer even said aloud at the campfire, "Women like you should stick to cooking, not cockpits." The next morning, as the sun rose over the dry military camp, a thunderous roar echoed through the sky. Heads turned. Conversation stopped. Coffee spilled. An F-35 jet pierced the horizon, low, fast, controlled. And in the cockpit was her. The same simple woman they tried to humiliate just 24 hours earlier. But how did she get there? Let's rewind. Private First Class Ayla Rahimi arrived at the temporary military camp in Nevada with a duffel bag, a tucked-in uniform, and a quiet smile. She didn't talk much, didn't flex her record, and didn't correct anyone when they assumed she was part of the kitchen unit. Ayla had spent 5 years training in tactical aviation and another 3 flying high-risk missions overseas. But at this new joint training base, nobody asked her background. Most didn't care. She didn't wear medals on her chest, only discipline in her posture. Within hours, whispers started. Is she even qualified? She looks like she walked in from a yoga retreat. Bet she's here because of diversity quotas. And then came Captain Reeds, cocky, loud, and with a long list of combat awards. He made it personal. That evening, as the team gathered near the mess area for a post-drill break, Reeds stood up and loudly said, "Listen, sweetheart, flying ain't for everyone. Why don't you take off that uniform before you embarrass yourself in front of real pilots?" People laughed. Ayla didn't. She just smiled, noted, "Captain," and walked away. What Reeds and the others didn't know, Ayla didn't come from privilege, didn't have high-ranking family in the military, and didn't grow up in airshows. She grew up in a broken home in a dusty Arizona town, raised by her immigrant mother who worked 3 jobs and reminded her every night, "You don't need to shout to be strong. Just make sure when you act, they listen." Ayla worked harder than anyone. She studied flight physics while working night shifts. She failed her first simulator test, then stayed up for 3 days to learn every switch in the F-35 cockpit by heart. She wasn't just a pilot. She was the top tactical pilot in her last unit, with 2 classified missions, where she had safely landed an F-35 with partial systems failure. But she never boasted. That night, Ayla requested a simulation test quietly from the base instructor. She aced it. The instructor, stunned by her precision, offered her a rare opportunity. A real flight test scheduled for the next morning. A flyover demonstration. Most people in camp didn't know it was happening, especially not Reeds. The next morning, as the sun painted the horizon orange, the soldiers gathered for routine drill assembly. Reeds strutted across the grounds, mocking Ayla's absence. "Guess she took my advice." He smirked, then they heard it. A sharp boom, a sleek silver jet slicing through the sky, so close the air pressure sent hats flying. The F-35 Lightning II performed a sharp barrel roll, hovered mid-air for a brief moment, and then surged into a vertical climb. The kind of move that requires absolute mastery. Everyone stood frozen, even Reeds. The jet looped once more before gracefully landing on the edge runway. Ground staff rushed to the aircraft. The canopy lifted. Out stepped Ayla, helmet off. Calm face, confident stride. She walked toward the group, looked directly at Reeds, and said, "You told me to take off my uniform. I thought I'd do it after reminding you why I earned it." Silence, even the trees held their breath. That day changed everything. Ayla didn't need applause. She didn't want revenge, she just wanted respect. And she earned it, not with words, but with skill. Reeds later apologized. Not publicly, cowards rarely do, but quietly. Ayla accepted it with grace. But from that day forward, no one in that unit ever looked at a quiet soldier the same way again. They learned something many forget. Strength isn't always loud. Power doesn't always brag, and some uniforms speak for themselves. Bullseye. If this story inspired you, don't just scroll away, show your support. White right pointing backhand index. Hit that like button to salute every unsung hero who rises above judgment. Speech balloon. Drop a comment and tell us, have you ever been underestimated? Loudspeaker. And don't forget to subscribe, because we are bringing more powerful true stories that prove strength comes in all uniforms. Your support helps voices like hers be heard. Let's rewrite what respect really looks like together.